friends, my channel. Today we will discuss the new feature of Oracle Cloud, managing service provider relationship between or amongst with the business units, different business units. So what exactly the concept behind this process? So one BU can be play a role of the procurement role. Like one BU can procure for another BU and make the payment for the client BU, right? So this is how we can understand. So let's start with. So managing service provider relationships can be explained or follows the, we can follow the different ways. Like service provider model enables a business unit to act as a service provider to client business units, and it can play personal in a shared service center, can process transactions on behalf of client business units. Like suppose we have BU1 who is entering the procurement, playing the procurement role, and another BU2 is playing the making the payment or processing the payment for on behalf of BU1. Those already been created a procurement or requisitions for the its own, right? So business unit security for this purpose enable personnel in shared service center access to the data for other business units also. So uh, so for that reason, we need to create a relationship between these two or amongst the business units so that they can perform the tasks that already been assigned to those respective business units. So that means let's understand with this next slide, which is service provider model for the procurement services. Like BU1 is a procurement business unit. Those are creating the procurement and performing the procurement processes, right? And provides the services to the procurement services to the BU2, right? And requisitioning at the BU level, and payments of the invoices are processing at the BU2 level. So this is how we can understand the procurement services providing by the BU2 and BU1 between these two operating units, so business units, right? So service provider model for the payment services can be of the three types of. You can implement the following types of payment services models. Like for the dedicated, uh, it can be dedicated or self-service, or dedicated and self-service both can be, we can configure in the system. Like what exactly the meaning of dedicated here? Dedicated means if we are defining a procurement unit, business unit, the same one making the or processing the payment for the same business unit. Like BU1 is a procurement and BU1 is also making the payment its own. So there is no, that is that can be the, we can establish a relationship between these two service provider, right? So that means there is no another BU those are preparing or performing any task for on behalf of another one, right? So self-service, like self-service, that means uh, self-service like procurement task is performing by BU1, and uh, payment task is performing by another unit, right? So that is the self-service, and both we can define like if we are a combination of dedicated and self-services, so that is also can be possible. So let's understand with the next slide these three tasks that we can configure. So uh, let's get back to into the system so that we can understand what exactly the meaning of this we can configure. Let's move to the application. So to configure prior to a new BU, so let me just assign the business function to the newly created Tata BK UK BU2. So let me just assign the business function for that, because I have created for the demo another BU, which is Tata BK UK BU2. So I'm just creating this BU as only for procurement purpose. So, and procurement contract management, I also want to perform this task. So let me assign the primary ledger to it. So this is the primary ledger and legal entity assignment. Save and close. So I've already defined another BU, which is Tata UK BU, and let me just create the relationship. So to that, yeah, this is the Tata UK BU and BU2. So these two all are already been defined. So this is newly created, the BU2 one. So let me open the first one. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just check the, this is a page where we can establish the relationship between the business units and the service provider. So what exactly is the service provider here? So what we can do, we can assign more than one procurement service provider BU, like already by default Tata UK BU already been we have selected as a scope, so that's why it's showing over here. So this also we have assigned the business the business function for this business unit for the procurement and all other like processing payments and billing and procurement. So that's why it is showing here. So if I have already been I want to assign one more procurement unit. So what can I do? I can select the another one also and assign the procurement business unit here, like BKU Tata UK BU2. I can apply over here, and only dedicated procurement unit I want to define, like not the BU2. I want the BU2. Let me define the another one. BU2 here, apply here, and then done. So now I want to disable this one. This is a blank one. Let me, okay. And the BU, data BU, right? So now the procurement will be role will be played by the Tata BKU UK BU2 for Tata UK BU unit, right? So what exactly the requirement now? The requisition and procurement will be played will be played by the BU2 now, not by this BUK BU2. Let me save this and let's see the status of this relationship establishment. Okay, go back to setup and maintenance. Go to offerings, financials, search the task, manage service provider, relationship. This is the task name, manage service provider. So already I have selected this original business unit that can be performed. Okay, so let me again just disable it and save it. Okay. Okay, now it's been disabled. Now let me add another business unit here, which is Tata UK BU2. Yeah, this one, apply and done. Okay, so now this, and again let me save it again. Earlier we were getting some error. Okay, done. So now we have established the procurement service provider. The selected business unit can processes the requisition and supply information for the business unit. Okay, you can add one more based on the outsourcing policy. So this is outsourcing policy that we can for the multiple business units, we can add over here for the procurement service providers. But however, for these payment services provider or customer payment service provider can only be, we can assign only single business unit. Those already been have all the functions, business functions to perform the making the payment and receiving the payments from the customer, right? So this is a dedicated part, and I have already been just multiple adding multiple business unit for the procurement part only. So only for procurement we can add the multiple more than one business unit. For these two upper parts, like for customer payment service providers and service provider, we can't add more than one business units here. So hope you will like this video, and if you like this video, please subscribe my channel and share with other friends. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching.